Hi everybody, welcome to the video and welcome to the flea market. As you can see, it's pretty wet out there. It just rained the night before. This is the little patio area. They do have Sundays. I know they have mariachi band usually. And then on Saturdays, I haven't been here on a Saturday in a while, so I'm not really sure, but I do know they have a DJ from time to time. I said mariachi. It's not necessarily mariachi. It's Mexican music or Mexican band. Usually playing there on Sundays. But Sundays are the big days. Sundays are it's huge. And I'm gonna have a video coming out on a Sunday, but it was a rainy Sunday where I still find some good stuff. It is starting to rain here in California now, or in the Bay Area where I live. So, as you can see, lots of puddles. And if it rains overnight pretty heavily, they will usually be closed, and if it's still raining in the morning. And the reason, as you can see here, lots of valleys, lots of areas for water to collect. So if it gets too flooded in certain areas, you know, they'll generally just shut the whole thing down. Or they may hold off and see how things go throughout the day and then open it up later in the day. But it's a nice, cold, wet. So when it is wet, as it is today, they don't, you gotta really be careful because you don't know, maybe some of these vendors have had stuff out in the rain. There could be condensation issues. There may be like a light drizzle because it was earlier in the day. It was pretty foggy, so there might be like a light drizzle associated with that fog. So you have to take that into consideration when you're when you're making your purchases here and going through items. Now, electronics. One of the biggest thing about electronics, and what a lot of you'll hear this a lot. Keep water away from electronics. You spill your water on your keyboard. Now, water won't necessarily ruin electronics.
I know.
It could potentially cause corrosion, especially if you just leave the water on there, if you don't dry it properly. Now, the biggest problem with electronics, as you can see all these hats really quick, they're all pretty damp, and I probably shouldn't have bought any hats here because they were all pretty. It wasn't necessarily the dampness that was the problem. They were pretty well used, so I did pick up some hats, but I really probably should have stayed away from the hats here. But going back to electronics, so the biggest issue with electronics is if power is going through it and then it comes into contact with water or liquid, then you have a problem. Then you have, shorts and corrosion and all those issues. But so long as there's no power going through the electronics, if it is wet, just make sure it dries out. Dry it all out completely. Let it sit for a while. Make sure the internal components get dried. Run a fan over it. I've never done the rice. I know some people, they throw their phone. If it gets wet, they throw it in a big pile of rice. I guess that could help. I've never done that before myself. Usually you'll just kind of just take it out of the water and let it dry out. But if there's no power running through it, now a battery may still have power. So if it has an internal battery that had some sort of a charge on it, it could have shorted something out. But if that, typically here at the flea market, all the electronics here are pretty much, for the most part, dead. Batteries are dead, everything's dead. So if it is wet, I usually wait. Again, when you're buying electronics, try to get them for as low. I mentioned this many times. If you're into buying electronics, computer parts, whatever, you have to buy them as if you're going to resell them for parts, or it's money you're going to lose. Because you don't know. Unless you could test it here, you really don't know. So, same goes, for wet components. If it has an internal battery especially, you don't know if there was any charge on that battery. So, you have to buy it as if it's not working, you're planning to lose the money, or there's still some value in parts on eBay. So be cautious when everything's wet. Obviously, books and stuff can get moldy. The record's gonna get moldy. So if it is wet, it looks good, get it home, get it dried out as quickly as possible. Bunch of records. There was actually a big, another vendor here who's a really big record seller, but at another flea market. I came the next day, and he bought out all the remaining records that weren't purchased. But I saw a few, like this Spider-Man one here I'm going to pick up, that Blues Brothers. It looked like that Blues Brothers was still sealed in the plastic, so we're definitely going to take that. And even though again, going back to the water or the rain, even if something is sealed in plastic, you guys saw all those Hot Wheels that were there, there still can be condensation that occurs on the inside of the plastic. So it'll still get wet. Even though it's sealed, it could still get wet on the inside from the condensation. So you have to take that in consideration, especially when items have been sitting outside like this. So just have to be a little more extra cautious, you know, with rain. I'll still pick up electronics in the rain that have been wet. I'll still, you know, go after books and all the stuff I usually do in the rain. I just have to be aware, have that in the back of my mind that, hey, this stuff is wet. So then I have all that stuff playing in my head, you know, checking for mold, checking for if it has, you know, sealed in plastic, checking for that condensation inside, you know, drying out my electron, all that stuff just playing through my head as I'm looking to make purchases here. But lots and lots of records. So if you're a big record person, man, I wish I knew more about records. I mean, I do know that there's very few records that are actually that have any good value, but at the prices she was moving them at, you know, I think she was, if I remember correctly, it was 3 for $1. And I'm pretty sure the guy that ended up buying out, I mean, he was the great buyer for it because he sells tons of records. He knows a lot about records. The guy that ended up coming out and buying her out, I'm pretty sure she gave him a great deal because he just bought them all. And I'm pretty sure I could have probably got maybe 5 for $1, and we could have made some good money. The issue for me is I really don't know too much about records. I mean, I know the major bands and people to look out for, but sometimes they're just not valuable. And I would have to get, you know, boxes for those records because, you know, you got like 12 inches by 12 inches and then less than an inch thick. Well, I mean, like quarter of an inch thick. So those take special boxes that I would need to purchase. So I have to also think of that, take that into consideration. I really like these books, these, you know, these books that show not necessarily historical landmarks, but also landmarks of religion, or, you know, that have spiritual significance. So that's why you see me sometimes pick up these books and all that. I sell a lot of sell a lot of barware, so definitely picking this up. It is a little, the lid was a little tight, and I got it home and I was able to get it open. You know, it's going to require some cleaning, but it is something that I do enjoy. I mean, I do collect. You've heard me talk about this. I collect whiskey. I do have some bottles that are just completely not open yet, but I do drink it though. It takes time though. I mean, it's hard to go through a whole bottle. I mean, I'm not sitting there having like 3-4 cups a day. Usually it's like, you know, a cup an evening or so. If I remember too, sometimes I'm like, I'll just get too tired. I prefer not to waste it. It is expensive. So, I do like and enjoy selling barware, and it sells. I mean, I sell these little like flasks. They're like hip flasks because of the shape. But I do sell a lot of those. I sold actually one that was kind of hidden in a book recently. You probably saw it in a video as well too. I sold some not Jameson. What do you call it? Jack Daniels. As a matter of fact, I think this is going to be the only flask I'll have in my store as of late. I haven't really found any lately. Prescription bottles. Be careful with prescriptions. Well, actually, don't be careful. Don't get them, because you can't sell prescription products on eBay. I don't know about other places. You know, I don't really even try to sell prescription anything online. I do. Actually, just really quick. So prescription, anything, and that even means prescription glasses. So if you have glasses with prescription lenses that you find that you want to sell because maybe the frames are good, make sure you don't put prescription in the description or the title. Just put, you know, lenses need replacing, or you need to, get the appropriate lenses for you, whatever it is. Before I circle back to the prescription thing, I want to talk about this right now. This is a Nolan Ryan. Well, Nolan Ryan's on the cover. This is a magazine. They're all Nolan Ryan. It was when he was with the Angels, so before the Houston Astros. Legendary Hall of Fame pitcher. The Ryan Express. One of my favorite players growing up. I mean, still one of my favorite players. But it looked like it had some cards that you could cut out of there. It had some Olympic cards in there. Christy Yamaguchi. And so the comps did not look good. I saw maybe one or two sold, and a bunch of listed, but all of them were listed over $20. So I don't think they're worth $20. I think they're worth about $15 a piece. I'll probably go as low as $10 for each of those books. Now, for the whole bundle deal, I paid everything I bought here. I paid $70, and I think I'll make most of my money back just in those books if I sell them for at least $10 a piece. I grabbed, I think, 6 or 7 of those books, so I'll make a good amount of money just on those books. So it's something to be on the lookout for. But again, this is one of those things where you gotta have some more advanced knowledge, more not necessarily advanced knowledge, but just that instinct. I've talked about this before. I talked about it in some of my shorts. Just that seller's instinct, that instinct to know that, I know there's a buyer out there for this item, and I know I could get those sold. So that's why I picked those up, going off instinct, and I know I can get those sold.
Yo, cheap.
How's it going, man? Good. Hey, here's 5 for that keyboard from last week.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. I owed him some cash from
I think it's
a keyboard sale that he got me. Okay, circling back now, right back to the prescriptions. The one things I do and am able to sell, but locally, are CPAP machines. But they have to be in great condition. You don't want, gross, used up CPAP machines. Check them out. I found them here at the Goodwill before in great condition. And I flipped them online on Craigslist OfferUp. Facebook Marketplace, I've had them taken down from Facebook Marketplace, so I'll post them either on OfferUp and I'll post them on Craigslist. And I have moved them in that way. So, and they do sell really well. They sell for, if you get a good model, and some of the better models of sleep app machines usually tend to be smaller. They tend to be more modern. The smaller ones are the more modern ones, and they'll sell for $200, $300, $400. The last one I sold for $450. So they will move just locally. You cannot sell them online otherwise. I want to pick up this little stylus pen. It's for a Samsung tablet. But I know these stylus pens do go for quite a bit, and sometimes the tablets don't even come with them. You have to buy them as an accessory. So I'm definitely gonna pick it up. It's an easy shipper, easy to store, easy to
Cool. Are you gonna be around next week?
Yes, sir. It's just easy all the way around.
Cool.
I mean, it's tiny. It's less than an ounce probably, even with a bag.
You come Fridays too, right?
Yeah. So all right, we're gonna take that for sure.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I buy a lot of keyboards from him, and he's moving locations, so it's kind of. I'm gonna have to. This is more towards the front of the flea market, and you guys heard me talk about the front of the flea market. It tends to be the place where the deals aren't really the best, so I'm gonna have to It's going to cause me to do a lot of zigzagging through the flea market now. If he's over here, because he has great keyboard deals. And good keyboards, too. Really good keyboards. Gaming, mechanical keyboards, Apple keyboards, all stuff that sells incredibly well on eBay. I'm checking out these Surface tablets. These are from Microsoft. They're tablets, but they also are kind of like, they act as many laptops as well, too. They have these fabric keyboards. I'm just checking the back. These are the RT models, 32 gigabytes. The very low end of the Surface model.
How much are the tablets?
Of the Surface Microsoft models.
30 each?
They'll do well at around $30-ish dollars, so you would have to get them pretty cheap, $5 or less. And then again, everything's wet. I don't know where these have been. Do they work? So I really, really have to get them for $5 less. I would gamble at 10 if I knew they worked, but I don't know. They work. I have a charger for these, but I'm not gonna. He wanted 30 a piece for them. And no, there's no way. No way I can do that. And one thing you do want to keep in mind with PCs or Windows stuff is Windows has moved on to Windows 11 now. From Windows 10, but Windows 10 will be discontinued soon. Not necessarily like discontinued, but they're going to stop doing updates for it in a few years. I forget what year actually they stop. But everything's going to move to Windows 11, and Windows 11 requires certain system requirements. Certain types of hardware can move to Windows 11. Not all hardware can. So at some point, all this old hardware, you're not going to be able to get any security updates on it or anything. It's going to be stuck. So that could really, obviously everybody wants the latest and greatest, cyber protection out there. Everything's just moving, online. Everything's moving to AI, and you're going to want the best protection you can get. And if you're stuck on an older operating system that can't get those security updates, you could be at risk. So keep that in mind. Windows 11 is going to be, if your computer can upgrade to that, not just buying and selling stuff here. If you have a computer at home, just know eventually you will have to move to a computer that can support Windows 11 to continue to get the latest and greatest updates, including security updates as well too. Okay, a lot of talking here. As you can see at this booth here, I already got a bag. I picked up this bag from the bag pile over there. This is an Oakley sunglass case. This is more for those what are called the M frames or the shield type of sunglasses for Oakley. Those cases do really well at around $12 to $15. I'm gonna get a good deal on everything here, but that bag is actually gonna be a keeper bag, so I'm not really gonna negotiate too much on price. If it's an okay price and I'm already comfortable with, I'm gonna pay it for the bundle deal, because I am gonna pick up actually 2 bags here that I'm gonna keep. So I'm okay with the price they end up giving me. They end up asking for $55, so I was completely comfortable paying that based on the 2 bags I'm getting. I'm not sure if I show the other bag in this video. I will show it at the end in the recap, but it's a GoPro bag. It's a great condition, official GoPro backpack. And this bag is really nice too. I really think my wife would like that bag. It's got like a leather canvasy look to it, and just needs a little bit of cleaning, so I'm definitely gonna do that. I got that. I got that airplane. You saw those metal airplanes. Those are more for. They are like drawer handles is what they are. These little portable foldable keyboards, I sell these all the time. Every time I get them, I sell them really quick. They don't sell for very much, around $15. But again, if you can get them in a bundle deal, get them for $1, they're great little pickups. And they go in a little poly bag, send them on their way. They're great. No, I'm definitely gonna pick this guy up. The one thing I do want to mention, because I mean, it's not, I don't know. Take it for what it is, I guess. When you're here at the flea market and you're seeing this video, and I watch these videos, I'm rewatching all these videos, do my voiceover. Everybody's butt is in the video, okay? So get used to squatting when you're at the flea market. I do it, you know, I guess it's a form of exercise, but when I'm going through stuff, I don't want my butt in somebody's video or in somebody's face. I squat and I'm going through all this stuff here. But either way, let's get into the recap, everyone. Okay, everybody, welcome to the recap here, and I'm gonna have the video. This will be another like picture-in-picture video, so it'll appear right over here. There's a little bit of background noise. I have the washer and dryer going, so if you guys hear that, I'm gonna try to fix that in when I'm editing the video. Otherwise, I'll probably start. I have a couple of videos of the recap, so I'll be stopping and starting right where those videos should be in this recap, and it should appear right over here, right over my left shoulder. That's what that is. Okay, give me 1 second. We'll start that video. And that video should appear now. Now, I'm shooting this with my GoPro. I'm watching the video here as we go along, so I know what to talk about and what to highlight here. But there we go. Got a big bag, a couple of good items here. Some of it are keepers. This is an American Girl doll. It's a backpack, one for your doll, and accessories. And there just happened to be another tiny little backpack in the back of that as well too for the doll. And so for that backpack, it's not crazy. I mean, maybe with the other backpack, we're looking maybe about $20 for everything there. So the backpack by itself goes for about $15. Personally, I thought it would be more, but that's what it goes for. This is a Canon camera, and you want to make sure with a lot of these, make sure they have the shoulder straps. They have the shoulder strap in there. Everything looked brand new on this thing, so this should easily be about $20 camera bag right there. Then we have an Oakley sunglass case. This is more for those M-frame cases, and these, I mean, the lenses that were in there are garbage, but the actual case there should be right around $12, $15 for the case. This whole bundle of stuff we paid $55 for, and I was okay paying that because this bag here that I picked up, my wife, this is actually going to be for my wife. She liked the bag. I thought she would like it. It's like a little canvas and leather. Really nice bag. I couldn't find any comps on it, so I have no idea what it would go for. My opinion, $25, $30. The other bag that we're going to keep here is this GoPro bag. I think it's called the Seeker bag. And just tons of pockets and everything for accessories, somewhere to mount your GoPro. A really nice bag. If you were to resell this would be anywhere from $60, $70. I saw it as high as $80. But we're going to keep that bag. That's going to be for me. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of videoing, so with my GoPro and stuff. This cool little paperweight, I couldn't find an exact comp on it. I priced it at $50, and I opened up offers on that. These little portable keyboards, they fold up. They're really nice, convenient. On second glance, it appears to be for some sort of a PDA or personal digital assistant device. Maybe $15 on that guy. These are really cool. They're like handles for drawers or something. They have the hardware in there. They're really nice. They're solid metal. And those things should go for right around $20 is what I'm anticipating those to go for. Couldn't find exact comps on that, but they are solid metal. Great accessory for a child's room. Got the trunk of the car. Don't mind the mess. You know I buy keyboards. I'm a keyboard buyer all the time. These Surface keyboards, which I got at the flea market, but I had a Goodwill tag on it. I sold that recently for $30. Baseballs, softballs, definitely keep your eye out, especially ones that are, those yellow ones seem to go for quite a bit. This lottery picking guy is kind of cool. Goes for about $30. Oh, that softball should be about $10 to $15. This is a World Series baseball. I've sold World Series baseballs for right around $20 for World Series baseballs. And that is brand new in the box. I checked it to make sure it was still sealed. This San Francisco Giants baseball, I've sold this before for $15. This is a rain suit. It's all complete in there. I'm guessing right around $30. It's like got that hunting pattern to it, camouflage. It's wintertime. Now here are some records. This is a Spider-Man record, and this is a Blues Brothers record. The Blues Brothers, I'm thinking, should be around $20. I'm thinking around $15 for each of these records. This is ultimately what I'm hoping to get out of each of those records, is what I'm hoping for. I'm not really a record buyer. I bought them just because of the content. This one here, I really couldn't find any comps on it, and I haven't even tested it yet, so I don't know what it's going to go for. It appears to be some sort of a VIP Disney thing that you would get. I'm waiting for it to dry out. It was a little wet, hoping it works. I'm thinking about $25 for that. You guys heard me in the video talk about this. I'm thinking these are worth between $10 to $15, these Nolan Ryan books. I think I got 6 or 7 of these. I had to double check. Again, everything's drying out. Everything needs to dry out. It was a rainy day at the flea market, or previous rainy day. So everything was still a little wet. Don't know if this stuff has been out. I know some of the vendors do keep their stuff out in their trailers, so you might get condensation, water leaking in wherever. So all this stuff is drying out as we speak. It's still great, still in good condition. No molding or anything that I could tell or see. No warping. Sometimes warping can occur. Everything looks great. Just needed to dry out. And I've already kind of just dried it off with a cloth, but then I have fans going over it just to be on the safe side. Let's get to the next video. I'm going to stop it right here, and then we're going to get to the next part of the recap. Okay, now here comes the second part of the video. And right off the bat, we have this. This is a Philo fax, F-I-L-O fax. I've sold the larger planners and stuff for around $30 to $40. Good brand to look out for. This little one, I think about 10, maybe 15, maybe about $20 for that one. Vintage Trolls. I probably shouldn't have bought these, but I bought them just because I don't really find them, and I've seen them at Goodwill overpriced. But maybe about $8 for each of those. This camera here, if it works, that should be about $60. The Olympus camera. I do need a charger for it, so I had to order one. Okay, the hats. You know, there were some hats I picked up that are okay. Some that I just really shouldn't have purchased. This Oakland A's one should be good. It's still dirty. This New York Yankees one, I don't know. I really haven't seen it. I can't find anything on it. You know, I don't know. I should make money on everything that I purchase, but the hats I really probably should have just stayed away from. I shouldn't have purchased these hats at all. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes things look good in the, when you're out and about, the lighting looks good. Then you get it home and you're like, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. The Nike hats it seemed to be okay. Like this SB one, that should be good. Should be about $15 for that hat. There's some more hats in there, but we got some plush here. I'm gonna keep this one. I really like I don't know, I like these round animal ones, but it should be about $15 if you're gonna resell it. This Alien Jester, I really couldn't find any comps on it, but again, this was another keeper. I like the aliens from Toy Story. I don't know why, but I've always liked those alien guys. So this is actually a keeper. It's brand new with tags, as you can see. And the guy I bought these from had everything brand new with tags. I know it wasn't featured in the video, but I forgot to turn the camera on. Another unusual plush that I picked up. It's from Japan. I think it was missing something to it. I found one listed for about $95. But that was out of Japan. I couldn't really find anything on this. So I'm guessing probably about $100. We'll see. I'll have to update you guys in a short on that plush. Again, with the hats, $15 maybe. We'll see. The Nike hat, it was okay. It just had some little those little peely things on them I got to get off. This other Nike hat, cool Nike hat. A little bit of cleaning involved with that one, but it wasn't as bad as the other hats. The other hats were just bad. And so, but that was a cool Nike hat. Maybe about $15. $10 to $15 for the hats. This book here, Sacred Spaces, I was thinking of keeping it, but I couldn't find that exact book, but comps on that were right around $30. I should not have bought this. I should not have bought this hat. I bought it, and I shouldn't have. It's an older hat. I'll see what I'm not even bothering comping that. All those hats I'm tossing aside for right now. I'm not going to bother with them. I recently sold this game for $25. This Plants vs. Zombie thing is a no-go. Burnout, that one's okay. It's about $15. And that blade I've sold for $15 too. I just picked up the Plants vs. Zombies. I know they're okay. They were going okay in the past, but nah. Again, with this bell, like $10 to $15. Probably not a pickup because it is delicate. And when I price stuff around that range, it has to be able to go like in a poly bag in a very slim little box. That one. This is really cool. I picked this up. No comps on it. B of A, little pin, brass, vintage, maybe about $10 to $15 for that little guy. Now this flask, I'm going to have to clean it up. It's going to take a little bit of work. Comps on it are right around $15. Is it worth the work? Probably not. Probably not worth the work. I mean, you're seeing the real side of reselling, and sometimes things look good when you're there in the moment, and then you get home and you're reviewing everything. It's like, ugh. We're going to make money. Don't worry. We're going to make money. We're going to make money on these brass Roadrunners. They should be about $30 to $40 each. There were some comps, some smaller comps, around $20, but these are a bit larger. So this pen, the Samsung pen, you want to get that for about $1. It's going to go for about $10. But like you heard me say in the video, it's easy, small, easy to ship, easy to store. This one here just caught my attention. It's old, but I couldn't really find any comps on that book. This belt. Now, this belt will kind of hopefully save the deal where I got those hats with. Because that belt should sell for about $40. You definitely want to look out for those. It's not a military belt. It's more like a law enforcement type of belt. It's heavy leather. You put all kinds of accessories on it. You can buy separate accessories for it. But those heavy leather belts for law enforcement do incredibly well. I've bought and sold them many times. I don't have any in inventory right now, so this will be a brand new one to my inventory. But we're expecting 40, 50, depending upon the accessories that are on it. Some of the gun like holsters do incredibly well. I have bought and sold a lot of those. I sold a Western style, more of a Western style belt that had dual holders on each side. As I'm trying to do the holder motion, had dual holders. I found it at Goodwill for, I think it was like $8. I sold it actually to someone in Australia. They bought it for $120. So those belts are just really cool. And it's kind of easy to kind of spot them. Let me pick it up really quick. Let me show you guys the pattern to look out for. Okay. So this is kind of the pattern to look out for these law enforcement style of belts. I don't think this even really had a... it says L&L Leather, Hayward, California. So this might be very specific to our area because Hayward is just up the freeway from us here. And as you could tell, it has a bunch of like accessories on it. I think this is like more for like the nightstick or the stick, to hold that in. There's not a gun holster on this one, but you could add one to it. If it had more accessories, obviously it'll go for more. There's another little pouch here. So, and then the Western one that I found, it was still a very heavy leather. This is a very heavy leather. It was a very heavy leather. It was all a nice just natural leather look to it. You could just tell it had a weight to it. The really good quality in the stitching. I mean, you could tell. I mean, so the only issue with some of these are there's a little bit of just corrosion from the metal there. You just got to brush that off. That'll come right off. That green corrosion, or just from being exposed to the air and moisture. But you can really see like the stitching in there is really done very well. I mean, the weight is just really incredible. The brass hardware on there. So look out for these. Usually I find them, I get them for great deals. Some of the vendors there, they specialize in leather items, and you'll see these on their booth. So if they're like if the booth is just decked out in leather and you see these out there, it's probably going to be priced according to what it should go for on eBay. But if you're there at some of these vendors, some of the vendors I call they're like I call it like the garage sale style, because they just lay it all out there. It's a mixture of all kinds of stuff, and you find this out there, you'll get a good deal on it, and you can flip it on eBay for good profit. But that's the end of the video. As you can tell, there are some duds here. A lot of those hats I might try to clean up. You really have to take into consideration the time and the effort that's going to take to clean those. And in hindsight, if I'd been paying more attention, I don't know, maybe the lighting was, the natural lighting, everything looks kind of good, and it's like, oh, that looks good, yeah, I'll pick it up. But some of those hats I shouldn't have bought. The books, like I was saying about the book, that one book here, I could find listed ones, not this exact one. One sold with a similar title for $15. And I don't know, this might be really old. I don't know. It might be 1908. That's the last date that's in the book. There's one, a copyright in 1901. Then there's one in 1908. So I don't know. Is this a 1908 book? In my opinion, I don't think it's 1908, but it could be. Someone wrote in here 1921. So we'll see. It is definitely old. And then the other book I picked up, that's Sacred Spaces. I picked up just because I liked it, but we'll see. We'll see how that should maybe about $30. There's no sold comps, but other books with similar titles, not necessarily same content, are right around $30. So we'll see how we do. I'll definitely be updating my shorts as I sell stuff. That's where I put most of my noteworthy sold items in. But I hope you guys like this adventure. We got some great stuff. We're going to be in the profit. No matter what, we're going to be in the profit on that. Even with the duds I picked up, because they're lotted up with other stuff. Like some of the hats I bought, were with this belt here. So this belt is going to make a pretty good profit. The brass items always do incredibly well. Like I said, in that one deal with the Nolan Ryan books, we're going to make most of our money back with the Nolan Ryan books if we sell them for around $10. If they end up going for $15, which is what I'm going to list them at, we're going to be sitting pretty well overall on the whole day. We'll do pretty well on those. Otherwise, I appreciate the new subscribers. I appreciate the thumbs up. And if you guys like the content, please subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.